Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our webinar on web scraping with Python using BeautifulSoup and request libraries. I'm so glad to have all of you on board. So, I'll be handling the webinar today with a colleague of mine, Dare. He's a very good friend of mine, and so he'll be the one handling the exploratory data analysis. So, let me give a little bit about myself. My name is Chuka Dean Eze Ogwine, and I'm currently the Data Science Nigeria City Lead for Owerri. So I'm interested in economics, finance, and computer science. All right, so what does DSN mean? DSN is simply Data Science Nigeria, so it's a not-for-profit organization that aims to train over 1 million data scientists in Nigeria by in 10 years' time. All right, so Dario will be helping me, he'll be supporting me with the exploratory data analysis. All right, so let's get started. Well, let me just give a summary of what we are going to be doing today. So today we are going to be scraping a soccer-based website. So we'll actually scrape all the matches that Man City Football Club have played against Arsenal Football Club. So we'll scrape all the matches. So more like the head-to-head analysis. So now, what is web scraping? You can call it web scraping, you can call it screen harvesting, or sorry, screen scraping, you can call it web harvesting. So web scraping is simply a technique employed to extract data or information from web pages. So now, once you've extracted this data from web pages, you can now save this data either like as a local file on your laptop, or you can save data to the cloud, so maybe to your Azure or to your AWS platform. Now, web scraping is just the process of automating the process of getting data or information from web pages. So now I would give you an instance. Let's assume that maybe you are working for a football club, and they tell you, okay, fine. So we have this data on our website. So let me just go to the website. So we have this data on our website, but we want to know maybe the number of times that we scored above maybe 3 goals, or the number of times that we won. So now this is the data, right? So this is the site that we are going to be scraping. And yeah, so this is the head-to-head analysis of the matches played since this goes as back as, you see, it goes as back as 1893. So maybe let me just say since the invention of the soccer game. So assuming you are given a task to scrape this data and to be able to like answer some questions based on this data. So now you could go the hard way, right? So you could just maybe go the hard way by creating an Excel sheet and maybe hard coding. So just use your hand to type all this. So you kind of one by one you input all this, or you can just decide to maybe say, okay, fine, let me copy this whole stuff. And so even if you want to copy this stuff, let me just copy a few of them and maybe paste them on Word, right? So even if you paste this stuff on Word, I think my Word is kind of, yeah, I think I have something similar, yeah. So even if you paste this on Word, so you see that is not well organized. It's just so like scattered. So it's difficult for you to arrange this, right? Yeah. Or you could just decide to use an Excel sheet and key them one by one. But then you're going to take a whole lot of time. So web scraping kind of automate this process. Yeah. So let me go back to the slide. So now maybe asking yourself, okay, fine, I am able to automate the process of web scraping, but where does this come in handy? So why should I learn this? How would this fetch me money? How would this be useful for me maybe in my career? Or how would this make life easier for me? Now there are several scenarios where you would need to maybe scrape a website or maybe a platform. So now number one, to gather contact details. So sometimes you might have received maybe some spam mails on your Gmail. So maybe you ask, how did these guys get my email or stuff like that? So sometimes you make your contact details like phone number and emails public on social media platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook. So now these contact details can actually be scraped from this website and used for maybe promotion purposes or maybe for advertisement. So did these guys just kind of go to this platform, scrape the contact details of people that they want to, maybe of a particular genre of people they want to scrape or they want to get their contact details. So once they scrape these details, they now kind of maybe send mass emails to these people. So one good way you can apply web scraping is to, so as I said, for maybe informed advertisement. So if you want to like target a particular genre of people, maybe those that maybe love analytics or those that love maybe those that are Manu fans or stuff like that, you could just maybe scrape Facebook platform or LinkedIn platform and get their details. Then for research purposes, so of course sometimes maybe you want to conduct a research and the information you want is not like maybe made available as in maybe in an easy to analyze format. So you may just want to, so maybe this information is present on the website, but this website does not give you the opportunity to to download this information to save it to a local file. And as I showed earlier, just copying the information from the website is going to be kind of tedious and time consuming. And you want to be able to, analyze this information. So what you can do is to scrape the website. So you could just scrape the website and now use the data from this that the site provides for your analytics. So that is also one good way you could apply web scraping. Then also you could apply web scraping. Maybe you own a website, right? So of course you won't be the only one typing the articles or maybe the content on your website, right? So web scraping goes a long way in kind of helping automate the process or automating the process of um, articles featuring on your website. So let me give for instance, maybe you like this particular author, maybe this particular site provides you with a maybe has like great articles, right? So you could just maybe write a simple scripting program that would go to this site and maybe kind of extract some articles based on maybe their maybe the topic that they address, and also make this article to feature on your own site. So it's just more like you could use it to maybe to keep your site and your own website up to date, and so your customers would also be be satisfied. Now also web scraping goes a long way in helping you gain a competitive advantage. So now these days most firms are you know highly in the competitive market. So what I mean is, let me give an instance. Let me say you are okay. You are an e-commerce service provider. So you sell some stuff on your website, or maybe you sell some stuff, yeah. But you have a lot of competitors. So each morning you want to set your price, right? So and since it's a competitive market, if you set your price below your competitor's price, it's going to you're going to lose most of your customers. So you want to be on the competitive edge, right? Yeah. So what you can do to be able to have the information you need to set your price. So what you can do is to just have a scripting software that will be able to go or be able to script be able to scrape the price that your competitors are currently selling on today. So maybe each morning you just maybe have, so the scripting software each morning just runs and scrapes your computer site and provides you with the current price that your competitors have set. And from this maybe price range, you'll be able to know, okay, fine, let me put my price here and here and here based on some other variable. So this will go a long way in helping you be informed and helping you make the right choices when it comes to setting price and making some decisions on your business. And the last but not the least, building machine learning models. So yeah, so of course when you maybe scrape a website for research, you would want to also be able to come to some conclusions or make some predictions based on the data set that you scraped, right? So because of course you can't build a machine learning model without data, right? So it's data that is used to build models. So yeah, so and scraping a site gives you the opportunity to build interesting models with the whole lot of available information that is present on the internet. So I think I've kind of given a brief overview of what web scraping is and what or to what use web scraping can be used for. So I think it's high time we get started. So let's get started. So from here now I'm going to take you to the Jupyter notebook where we are going to see how what I've been talking about for the past 10 minutes or so is being actually put to use. All right. All right. So here we are, our Jupyter notebook. And I'm assuming that most of us already have Jupyter notebook installed on our computers. But if you don't have it installed already, it's very easy IDE to install. Just Google Jupyter notebook and go to their site and install it. All right. So I want to begin by just giving a few definitions here. So Python is a high-level programming language, as most of us already know, that is used for. So it has comprehensive standard libraries. It has a whole lot of good libraries, I must say, and it's easy to use, easy to learn, highly readable, and it's mostly used for machine learning, data science, and scripting in general. It is kind of so yeah. So BeautifulSoup is a Python package that is used to kind of to help you work with or to kind of make this HTML files more readable for you and to be able to help you extract or to be able to work with this data from the web pages. So I think I would kind of give you an example of how this works very soon. So request is also a Python module that is used to make HTTP requests, right? So is the request is the module that helps you, make requests to the server to get the information from the website. So yeah, so these are two very important packages for web scraping. So since they are very important, we have to import them, right? So that's why we will begin by importing the requests module. So and to do that we would we would use the import request statement. So just simply type import request. And so now one thing, when you are trying to run this code, please be connected to the internet because you would need to be connected to the internet to be able to access the web page that we are going to try to get data from. Because obviously you can't access a web page that is online when you're offline. So yeah, so once we import the request library, we also import the BeautifulSoup library. So from BS4 import BeautifulSoup. So yeah, so now and when we want to now get the data from this, so this is actually the web page. So this is the link or the URL to the website that I just showed you now. So this is it. So this is the same stuff. So I just kind of went to Man City versus Arsenal because I have a lot of yeah, I just chose this head-to-head analysis because you know it's quite a funny history. How Arsenal we are performing better maybe in the 90s and early 2000s, and for the past 7 years or so, I don't think they were able to perform so badly against Man City. So we go to so now this time is the URL to this, right? So what we do is we use the request.get statement, right? So now this request is the so this request.get is simply like so we are going to more like this. So we have .get, we have .post. So it just more like sends a request, as I said earlier, to the server, right? To be able to like get the HTML file of this site. So to be able to view it, just click on inspect. Yeah, so this is it, right? So now this is what you want to inspect, right? Or preferably, I would prefer to do this on Chrome. So 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 this is what we want to inspect. So you want to inspect this website. So you just click on inspect, and yeah, so this is the HTML file behind this web page. And so when you actually use the request.get statement, it fetches this HTML file, right? So now we've run the code, but we need to be sure if actually our code was able to get the data from the soccer based site, that means this site, right? So for us to be sure, what we have to do is we are going to be using this statement here. So this is what I initially commented out this statement. So let me yeah. So now what this code simply does is it is an if else statement, right? So it checks if the status code is equivalent to 200. So 200 here simply means okay, right? So 200 means that the code was successful in getting the data from the site. So if equivalent to 200 is going to print successful, but if it is equivalent to 404, it's going to print not found. Actually there are other ranges between 200 and 400, but these are actually the most common code that you would find when trying to scrape data. So yeah, so let's run the code and see what we are going to get. So I'll hit Control Enter. Yeah, so here it prints successful. So what this means is that the request.get statement was actually successful in fetching the data from the site, or in fetching the HTML file from the site. So now, yeah, so here we just kind of, so now this is where we use the BeautifulSoup library to pass the page content, right? So to make it more readable and manipulatable for us. So if I want to kind of see what it actually fetched, I will just use the print soup that I'll see. Sorry about that. So yeah, this should work. So now this is what it fetched, right? So this is the HTML file, and if you check this against what is here, you will notice that they are going to be. So I prefer doing this on Chrome. So if you check this against what is here, you find out that they are going to be very similar, very similar. So let's go back. Yeah. So now what next? So now that we've been successful in getting and loading our file, or so now that we've been successful in getting the HTML code from this site into our Jupyter notebook, we are now going to begin to explore this stuff here. Now, this is the important part. The important part. Now, most sites have similar structures. So, what do I mean? So, it's more like a kind of tree-like structure where you have the head, you have the body, you have different tags. Just see text that are being enclosed in tags. So you can decide to maybe inspect this website. So you just click here to inspect it more like to be able to know where. So let me scroll up. Right. So if I click here, you would notice that H2 is highlighted, right? So what this simply means is that sorry. So what this simply means is that this 29 this year here is being enclosed in the H2 tag, right? And now in HTML we normally identify, so each class kind of has its ID. So here now the ID of this class is headline block. So if you notice, if you scroll, you see that classes. So classes have their IDs, right? So what I mean is that all right. So let's continue exploring. So if you click here, so you notice that so this is also the H2 tag, right? So now if you click here, you notice too here that this. So let me just kind of look at this. So this is in the class team home name, right? You can see it here. And if I click here, this is in the class team away name, right? So I can just decide to come here and so team away team, and then it's where it is. So you notice that so all this stuff are actually enclosed in tags. That's just basically so just a basic understanding of how HTML pages are being structured. So if I come here and click here, oh sorry. So let me go back. So if I come here and highlight here, you notice too that this is under the what? So the first tournament class, right? So this is what is identified this class, first tournament. Alright, so basically we are going to utilize this great feature of HTML files to be able to extract the data from this website. Let me show you how this works in practice. So if you look at here now, we want to be able to get the date time, or to be able to get the year that the match was being played. So what do I mean? So look at here now, you notice that these two matches were played in 2020. So they were played in, so this one was played in 17 June, this one was played in 15 December, this one was played in 3rd February, this one was played in 12th August, right? So you want to be able to like extract all these days, months, and years. So how do we go about it? So what we'll simply do is, I think I should just close this. So what we'll simply do is we would go here, the year, right, and try to see the class that this year belongs to. So if you look here that is highlighted, so this highlighted portion, you would see that this stuff is actually under the, so it's under the date time class. So if you check here now, so once I highlight this stuff, you see that this stuff is, so this year dates day is under the date time class. So what are we going to do? So let's check the other one. You notice that it's also under the date time class. So what this simply means is that, so notice now this is more like a tree-like structure. So if I expand this, I'll be able to see it here. So this is it. If I check here too, still the same stuff. If I check here too, so you see it's still the same stuff. So it's not even clicking. So if I check here too, you notice that it's still under the date time class. So you can see this is it, 18 December 2016. If I check here again, if I go to another day, another day. So yeah, so that is basically it. So now we want to extract this. So having explored the website, so we'll come to our Jupyter notebook, right? So what I simply did here was to write a code that is going to, find all classes that have the ID or that have the name date time. So what this simply means is that because from my exploration, you would find out that, sorry, don't know why I keep. So from my exploration, you find out that all of these days and months and years, so this stuff here, they all fall under the class date time, right? So if you take your cursor here, you would find out that it falls under the class with name date time. Your cursor here, the same thing, date time. So I want to find all the classes that have ID date time. So yeah, so that's what I want to do. So that was why I said soup.find all class with ID date time. Now, why I did not just write class this way is because class already exists in Python, right? So it's already like a built-in function in Python. So I can't just so class is an already built-in statement in Python. So I can't use it. So the BeautifulSoup library allows us to use it this way. So with this after. So soup.find all class that is equal to datetime, right? So when I run this, so if I want to see what is going to show me when I run this, I'm just going to, sorry about that, so if I want to see what is going to show me after I run this, right? So let me just show you. Let me run it and see what is going to show us. So you see that we are going to get all, if you look closely here, you will find out that it's all classes with datetime. So here class datetime, which the content of the class datetime, because just keeps repeating, right? Yeah, so now what we want to actually get just this. So this is what we just want to get, right? So what we want to see is just this text here. And if you look closely here, you will discover that, yeah, so this is a text, right? So this is what we want. We want this. Sorry. So we want this Thursday, 1st March 2018. Let me see if there is a way I can. Yeah. So this is what you want to actually get. This is what you want to extract, not the whole bunch of stuff here. So how we go about this is simply by, so let me go back to our notebook. So how we go about this is simply by using our, so what we simply do is to create a variable called datetime soccer. So we just use a simple list compression code. So this thing simply gets the text in this datetime, right? So it kind of gets, so it gets what we actually want. So let me just run this so you actually see what I'm talking about. And I will kind of explain it more. Try. Yeah, so this is what we want, right? So alright, so here I created a new variable datetime soccer. and I used list comprehension here, right? So here white is just more like my identifier. So what this simply does is just to get the text. So present in this class datetime, strip the text of maybe any white space that may be present. So here just yt, which is the identifier, dot get text strip equals to true for yt in datetime. So this is just like a simple list comprehension statement where I try to get the text present in this class for all items present in this list. So, but before that, I want us to just explore this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, instead of me to just print the datetime, I'm going to print maybe the first element of the second element, yeah, because 0 is the first element, 1 second element. So I'll print the second element of the datetime. So yeah, so this is the second element of the datetime. And if I want to maybe, so now if I want to just like get only this stuff here, so this text, what I'll simply do is just to write dot text and run it. So yeah, so this is just the stuff here. So if you notice that I just kind of, let me just copy this so you see the difference between both of them. So this is for the first element. So this is it. So I just kind of extracted only this text here out. So I can do same for this. So this is 15 December 2019. I can do same for the third element, which is 2, and I get something different. So that was why I used so it was from this that I now did this list comprehension to go through all the elements in this list, strip them of any maybe white space that may be present, and print the text, print all the text. So let's see what we are going to see when we run this. So you see, so we are going to see all the days that Man City and Arsenal played against themselves. So I try to kind of explain this because this is just going to be, so to be able to extract the rest of the features, we are going to do basically the same thing. So we are just simply going to identify the class, then just perform a basic list comprehension to be able to get the text from this class and store the text in a variable which will just give any name choice. So we'll do the same for the league, right? So is it Premier League, Career Cup, or Carling Cup, sorry, or Community Shield? So now we as in so now we can't just know that the class is equal to first tournament, right? Because I had already typed this code before this class, so that's how I know that it's first tournament. But just let's assume that we are doing this for the first time. We will still need to go to the site, right? And be like, okay, fine. So we want to be able to extract the league, right? So we'll now explore. So we'll place our cursor above this Premier League or above any of these I want to extract. So we want to extract. So we'll now check the class that this falls under. So if you watch clearly here, you would notice that this is on the class first tournament, right? So we'll now be able to know that, okay, fine, this is actually for first tournament. So that's how we know the class is first tournament, by exploring using the inspect tool. So we'll now go back to our notebook and yeah, and do basically the same. So we'll just basically find all classes with name first tournament, then do the same list comprehension, just put in our identifier, get text, strip of all white space for SL, which identifier in league. So this, as I said earlier, it's just more like, so because if you notice here, if I just comment out this stuff and print league, you will see that we have some things that we don't want, because actually what we just want is the leaf itself. So what you just want is this text in between this A, beside this A tag here. So this is just what you want. So you want to like strip out all these things here that we don't want. So that is why we do this. So that's why we do this. So when we run this, yeah, so we'll get the leaks. We'll do the same thing for the home team. So we still go to the site and explore as always, because that is where that is the key stuff in web scraping, the exploration, right? So you place your cursor here and check the class it falls under. So you need to here class is equals to team, home team. So this is the class name. So it is this team, home team, that you would copy. So this is what you copy. So this is what you would copy, right? So you just come here, you can just double click so that you will not make mistake with the name. Control C and go to your notebook and paste it here. So this is what you use to identify the class, right? So once you've done that, you now extract the text from the list that you've been able to extract, and then you get this. So because you notice now, if I want to just maybe see the first element in the list, and just simply check this, and you would see that it's going to be, I think, let's see, going to be Man City, right? So, and if you come to this site, you will notice that the club, so for the first, so you see, it's Man City that is the first here for the home. This is home, this is away. So this is home, this is away. So Man City here is the first. Second should be Arsenal. Third should be Man City. If you go to our notebook and check it, you see that it's going to be accordingly. So second should be Arsenal. Third should be Man City. Yeah. So that's basically it. So now we've gotten the home team. We do the same for the score. Now there's something special, not too special, right? But so if you find out something here, so we'll do basically the same stuff. So we'll find all classes with name score, because if we go to the site, as I've always done, place your over your cursor. So you click here. This is just more like to help you with to select elements you want to inspect. So if you hover your cursor around there, you notice that it's the class it is under here is the class score. So yeah, so and this stuff is more like 0/3. So what all this means is, if you want to, so if you want to extract this now, this is what you would extract here. In fact, let me just run this before you view it. So once you find all classes with score, this is what you would see. So if you notice, it comes this way. So 2/0. So this is the 3, 2, 4. So this is 1, 4, and stuff like that. So if we want to extract only the text, we'll do the same this comprehension we've been doing before, and print football score, right? So I think I'll have to just run everything again. Okay. So Now this looks neat, right? But because that was what I had to remove white space and stuff like that. But if I had maybe put false here, or not even use this strip statement, I would be getting, this XA stuff, which I don't want. So also I have to just make it to be true, just to strip off every white space that is present and make it neat. So we'll do the same for away team. Find a class, team, away team. From the site, we'll go there, we'll see that the away teams are listed under the class with ID, team, away team. So we'll now do our list comprehension as we've always done, and just assign the list to a variable and view it. So after that, we are now going to create a data frame with all these variables that we are able to extract. So with the date time, with the first tournament, with the soccer league, with the home team, scores, and away team. So we need to import pandas, and here pandas is just a Python library that helps with data manipulation. So we import pandas as PD. You can use any stuff here, but the convention is to use PD. So we would use the data frame module in the library. So we'll now create the data frame, right? So what we'll do is, so this data frame is going to consist of these variables. So these are what we are going to name our column. So date time column is going to consist of the list present in the date time soccer variable. Create a column, we call it league, which is going to contain the soccer league data. So this is going to contain the soccer league data that we had scraped, which is all this basically. So you just kind of view it. So home team, the same stuff, score and away team. So we've created like 5 columns here. So now, so this is just it. So this is the date time, the league. This is the league. This is the home team. This is the score. This is the away team. And so what I now did was just kind of to help with the analysis. I split the home score and the away score, as you can see here. And to do that, I just simply use the string.split statement. So here I specify that I want to split it based on the hyphen, right? So the hyphen is the parameter for splitting. So I'll split the home score and the away score. Then also I created a dummy two dummy columns here. So what this dummy column simply mean is, so like let's assume that, so this is the first match here. So again it was Man City against Arsenal. This was played on 17 June. That is just recently when Man City battered Arsenal, and so here Man City won, right? So what this means is that since Man City won, they're going to have a value of 1, and since Arsenal lost, they'll have a value of 0. So here Man City won 2, so they have a value of 1, Arsenal 0. So for the first row, the home team is going to have a value of 1 and away team 0. So that is what it's here. So home dummy score 1, away dummy score 0. Home dummy score 0, away dummy score 1, meaning that in the second match that played between them, the away team won and the home team lost. So for this one, the home team won and the away team lost. Yeah. So that is just basically it. Alright, so to be able to create this dummy variables I just explained, we would use the np.where statement. So I'll just I'll import numpy as np just to be able to, so what this simply does is just it checks if the home score, so if football play, this is the name of the data frame. So if football predicts home score, this is the column. So if this is greater than or equal to the away score, it should let it be a 1, right? So if it's a win or a draw, it should be a 1. But if the away score is more than or equal to the home score, let the away score be a 1. So yeah, so that's just basically what this does. So so that's just how to come about this these two columns here, the home dummy score and away dummy score. And I just did it to be able to help with the analysis, because sometimes it just helps with counting and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think this what was I really trying to check here? So I don't think this matters, so I'm just remove this. All right, so now that we are done with getting our data together and putting it in a data frame, it's now time for us to export this data. And we can export this data either as a CSV file or as an Excel file or any other file format that you want. So you just use the either .to CSV to export as a CSV file, or .to Excel to export as an Excel file. So here so this is the name of the data frame. So I input the name of the data frame here. So data frame .to CSV. So now this is the file name, right? So this is the name I want to name the file I want to create, right? Yeah. So this is just to help with encoding, just to ensure that it's successful. So this index false is just because we don't want the CSV file or the Excel file to include this column here. So this first column here, right? So this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want it to be included when we've exported our data. So yeah, so if we want to also export it to an Excel file, do basically the same thing, but here we'll just add an extra condition. So this engine equal to xlsx writer is to help with the exportation. Still use the encoding and still index false. So when we run this, it creates a CSV file with name soccer data and an Excel file with name soccer data Excel, which we can view on our local computer. Or maybe if we have specified maybe like a URL or stuff, it can also be uploaded maybe to your Google Drive or to your any cloud storage that you are using, or any cloud platform you are using, maybe like Azure or AWS. So let me just search for it. So that is soccer data, right? So let me search for the Excel file, because so okay, this is the Excel file. So this is soccer data. So this is it. So we can now view it on our local computer. All right, so this is it. So here you will find out that we have the date time here, the league, the home team, the score, the away team. So this is the splitted home and away score. This is dummy score that we created. Yeah, so now this file can now be used for further analysis, for research, or for whatever you want to use it for. So yeah, so I think this is basically all it is for basic web scraping. So actually what I did here is just more like a custom web scraping kind of thing. So this code is just kind of customized for this site that we create, but you can actually write Python scripts that we run that are more flexible and can be used that can be used in a variety of websites right here. So this just basically, so what we just did so far is let me just like give a cap of what we did. So we imported the request and BeautifulSoup library. We provided a URL, so we use the .get statement to be able to fetch the HTML file from the URL. I think here I was trying to just show where maybe when if you run an invalid, if you provide an invalid URL, it will actually give you an error. So here we now checked if this was actually successful or not. So and it gave us a text file saying successful. So we are fine. We now fetch the HTML file. After that, we now explore the web page and we are able to like identify the classes that each feature that we wanted to extract falls under. So we identify the date time class and use list comprehension to be able to extract the text we needed from the datetime class, and we store this in the datetime soccer variable. We did the same thing for the first tournament class and stored it in the soccer league variable. Something similar to the home team class, stored it in the home team variable. Also to the score class, stored it in the football score variable. But here what we actually just kind of, so this strip equals to true just helps us to remove white space and make what we are extracting more, make it neater. Same thing for the away team. Then we now made a data frame using pandas. So we now created like column names to store each of these variables under. So after that, we just created like two dummy variable columns using the numpy.where statement, just like a simple comparison where we're able to create two columns and assign 1 or 0 depending on who won and who lost. And then we are now able to export this data frame to a CSV and an Excel file using the .to CSV command or the .to Excel command. So let me just like show you guys the CSV file. So CSV just simply means comma separated variable. So let me just view this file for you so you see what it looks like. So this is just what the CSV file looks like. Let me just view it on this part. So this is just basically what it looks like. So you see, it's just each column separated by a comma. So now I'll be stepping down and handing over the platform or handing over this webinar to Dari to help us with the exploratory data analysis. So Dari will do a good job exploring this Excel file that I've created and trying to answer some questions from the data. So thank you for sticking with me up to this point. So Dari, it's over to you.
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Oludare Emmanuel. I am the DSN AI campus lead for Lautech. I'm a data scientist and I have about 2 years experience in data scientist in data science. So today I'll be taking you through exploratory data analysis. The data set we are working on has been scraped, and I guess that was well dealt with in the previous videos in the previous tutorial taken by Dean. So let's dive in. Now, what is exploratory data analysis? Exploratory data analysis, or EDA, is understanding data sets by summarizing their main characteristics, often plotting them visually. So exploratory data analysis is having your data set, finding the insights in the data set, finding what this data set is saying, going in depth and understanding what is embedded in this data set. And this data, what is there? What is this data saying? What is it speaking? So through exploratory data analysis, we can do this. Now, how to perform exploratory data analysis? Performing exploratory data analysis has been one of the major questions people ask so many times. I've had a lot of people that ask that question. That if I want to do exploratory data analysis, what should I do? What are the things I should do? What is necessary for me to do? So exploratory data analysis is you, like I said, you finding what the data is saying. So is you understanding what works best for your data. Now, what's your data? What is your data set talking about? Which type of data sets are you working on? So that determines the kind of tasks or the ways or the you explore the data, the way you analyze the data, the way you do your plotting, your Instagram plots, your pie charts, whatever plot you do is your data. What the data is saying will determine whatever you do. Now you will see as I go on with this class. Now, what data set are we working with? We are working with the data set that was scraped, the football match data sets between Arsenal and Man City. Although I'm not a big fan of football though, but at least I know the team called Arsenal, I know the team called Man City, I know they play Premier League together, yeah. So yeah, so these data sets we got it from soccer base. It was actually scraped from soccer base, and the way we got the data set has been explained in the previous video. So to give a piece of brief about the data set we are working in, this data set contains 199 matches played between Arsenal and Man City, so both home and away, and in different leagues. So we have leagues like Premier League, we have Division 1, we have Division 2, we have FA Cup, we have Canning, and the likes. So that's what we have in this data set. We have different column of the dates in which the match was played, the league, who was the home team there, was it Arsenal or Man City, the score, the away team, the home score, the home team, what did they score, the away score, the team away, what was their score. So yeah, that's what we'll be going through in today's class, in today's tutorial. So let's get started. Let's get our hands dirty. Yep. So yeah, the first thing first, as you agree with me, is importing our necessary Python libraries that we use to explore our data. Here I have NumPy, importing it as MP, Pandas as PD, Seaborn as SNS, Matplotlib as PyPlot, as PLT. So the data extracted was actually a Excel data set. Now let me show you how it looks. How it look like. Yeah, this is the Excel data set. This is the data set we're having. So we can also go through it here. Now here we can see the shape of the data. We have 199 matches, that is 199 rows, 9 columns. Now we made a copy of the data set. There's DF matches. Now the fourth, here we find out all the columns embedded in our data set. We have the date time, we have the league, we have the home team, we have the scores between them, we have the away team, we have our home score, we have our away score, we have home dummy score, we have our away dummy score. So Yeah, and the fifth one we have, then check our data, the first 5 rows of our data. So we can see the first row we have Premier League, having Man City as the home team, and 3-0 was the score. Away team Arsenal, home team scored 3, that is Man City scored 3, and the away team scored 0. The home dummy score is 1, and the away dummy score is 0. Now let me explain what home dummy score means. Home dummy score means is a binary figure, a binary value. That is, it will be 1 if the home team win, but it will be 0 if the home team loses. So yeah, we can see that Man City won against Arsenal 3-0. That is, Man City, the home team, won. That's why we're having 1 there. But if they lose, we have 0 there. That is, they had a loss. And the same thing for the away team. If the away team won, we have 1 there. But if they lose the game, we have 0 there. Now, if we check from this date time, you can see that our data set is as recent as June 17, 2020. So that is like last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So this is the the 5 recent matches. Now let's check the 5 oldest matches. So the tail here is to print out the last 5, and here we can have it. Here you have Arsenal. Arsenal won the game by 1-0. That's why we have the home dummy score 1 and the away dummy score 0. So you can see it as far back as 1893. Here I have the data set contains numerical and categorical columns. Our numerical columns are the columns having numbers. Examples are the home score, away score, home dummy score, away dummy score. Now our categorical columns are the rest: the daytime, the league, the home team, the score, the away team. Yeah, the reason the score is a categorical column is because of the hyphen between them, and the hyphen is definitely not a number. So to check if we have any missing values, yeah, then we use info. So we can see here that we have 199 entries, and all through the columns we have no other missing values. If we have a missing value now, we have like, okay, maybe in date time now, if we have a missing value there, we have like 198 non-null objects. Then we'll discover that, oh yeah, there's a missing value here. Okay, so there's no missing values based on this. Then let's check if we have a duplicate row. Maybe one of the matches, while scripting, one of the matches just duplicated itself, having the same date, a row duplicating itself again. So we discover that we have no duplicate rows. Now to check our numerical columns, yeah, we use describe to check our numerical columns to see what our numerical columns is saying. So in home score, we can see the number of counts, that is 199 here. Fine, that's good. That is 199 matches, right? So the mean of all the goals scored at home is 1.61. The standard deviation is 1.34, and the minimum value in our home score, that is the minimum goal scored, was 0. Now 25% of it is 1, and we have our max for 7, that is the highest goal scored at home between Arsenal and Man City is 7. We have that of away. The highest goal scored in away game is 5, and the minimum is 0. Okay, so here we also have that for home dummy score and away dummy score. So here we have a histogram plot of it. Histogram plot of the numerical variables. Now, if you agree with me, let's see this away score here. You'll discover that we have high goals, like in games played away. Most games played away are either 0 or 1. They either score 0 or 1. Now, most games played at home they either score one. It's only on rare cases we you see them having seven. Maybe this is just a match having seven. Now, if we check this home dummy score here, that is games played at home, and if you remember, I said one is when the game played at home, they won the game. So home dummy score one. We're having one here. We can see that there's a big difference between the one and the zero. We're having one here for like, let me say 140 something, and our zero is like maybe 58. Now we see that games played at home I have high chances of win between Arsenal and Man City, the two of them. So with Ghana, either Arsenal or Man City, any game played at home, they have these high chances of winning the game, because this maybe there's this advantage. You can't come to my home and then come and beat me at home. No, I won't allow that. So maybe there's this extra energy they give to the matches anytime it's at home and some other thing. So yeah, we can see that, yeah, cool. There's high tendency that any one of them that plays this game at home, this person is definitely winning. And then we can see for away, away is not really that much. They either win. Sometimes we have a lot of high one at home, and that for losses too. Okay, so yeah, I wrote some observations here that you can go through. Okay, so now we have our league column. I Let's check what our league column is saying. What are the leagues in our column, and how many matches did they play in those leagues? Yeah, we have the league. Now, English Division 1, we have 124 matches played. Premier League, we have 26 matches played. Premiership, we have 20 matches. English Division 2, we have 14 matches. Down to Community Shield having one. EFL Cup, just one. FA Cup, just one. So we can see that in English Division 1 league, Man City and Arsenal has played 124 times, and the Premier League 26, Premiership 20 times. So then, okay, I had to ask my friend Dane. Yeah, okay, English Division 1 and Premier League 1, Premiership, because I'm not a football person. Then it's like, okay, English Division 1, Premier League, and Premiership are the same thing. The English Division 1 is the whole name for it. I was like, oh wow. So that means they are saying the same thing. It's still the same thing with English Division 1 and Premier League and Premiership. So why not bring these together, since they are saying the same thing? Then I have to replace them. That okay, fine. Anyway, you see English Division 1, replace it to Premier League. Anyway, you see Premiership, replace it to Premier League. So then, and then the value count of the columns there, you can discover that English Division 1 is no longer there, and Premiership is no longer there. But now our Premier League is no longer, from 26 is now 170. So that's cool. Then I made a plot like, okay, let's see what it's saying. We have a plot here. You can see that Premier League is far above all other matches. That is, Arsenal and Man City played 170 matches together. They met 170 times in Premier League, and they met once in Community Shield, once in FA Cup, once in the EFL Cup, and less like that. So okay, then we have this our home dummy score, which we regard one as a win and we regard zero as lose. So why not replace them also? Instead of 1 and 0 confusing us, why not change them to, okay, anywhere there's 1 then put win, anywhere there's 0 then make it a loss, so that we understand what we are doing. So it will be less confusing this time around. Then we have this. So I printed the first 5 matches again. Then we have it here: win, loss, loss, win, loss, loss, win, loss, win. Okay, fine. Now I was not thinking, how we have Man City and Arsenal matches. Alright, so how many matches did Man City played at home and they won? And how many matches did Man City played away and they won? So yeah, I then wrote this line of code saying, okay, where there is an home team, which the home team is Man City, and also the home team has a win, and then the away team has a loss. So a win is when there is a win and the other party has a loss. A win is also when there is a loss and the other party has a win. So that is how it works. Now then, this the home for the home team. Now when Man City is at home, then get me the number of their win game. I did the same thing too for then when they are the away team, Man City. Then away team when they have a win in the away team, and the home score at that particular moment is a loss. Then we can see that, oh yeah, Man City had a total of 37 matches won at home and 20 matches won away by Man City out of 199 matches played together. That's awesome, isn't it? So yeah, let's check for Arsenal too. So this for Arsenal, I did the same thing, just changed the Man City away from, just changed Man City to Arsenal, both home and away. So yeah, I could get this. I got this. Arsenal won 59 matches at home and won 38 matches away. Fine, that's awesome. So that is matches won. How about we get matches drawn together? Like the matches, they draw the match together. And now, according to this data, the draw is when the home team has a win and the away team has a win also. That means that is a draw. Win is when there is a win and a loss, or a loss and a win. Okay, so I did for the draw here, and you can discover that, oh, they had 45 draw. They draw 45 matches. Fine. So I then made a plot, an Instagram plot for each one of them, both home and away. This is when they are home. You can discover that the blue means win here and the amber color means loss. You can discover that Arsenal had high win at home and less loss at home, and Man City had high win at home though, but it's not up to that of Arsenal, and their loss is higher than that of Arsenal at home. Now away, now okay, this time around the loss is blue and the win is amber color. So for Man City, we discovered that Man City have high loss away and low win compared to this loss away. But Arsenal had high win away and high loss away. So yeah, then I calculated, okay, what is the total of both Arsenal win home and away, and what is the total of both Man City win and away. Then here I have it. Arsenal win home and away. Out of 199 matches recorded, they have 97 win both home and away, and Man City had just 57 win both home and away. Remembering that we have 45 draw, so altogether should give you 199, the total number of matches played. So we can discover here that Arsenal did well at home, scoring better than Man City, winning 59 matches, while Man City just won 37 at home. And then Arsenal did well again, away, winning 38 matches away, while Man City just winning 20 away. And altogether, you can discover that both home and away, Arsenal did better than Man City, and the two of them draw 45 of their matches. Then I might not be into football really, but I discovered lately Arsenal is losing, like losing games, and this data is kind of confusing. I kind of know Arsenal as them losing games. I'm sorry for any Arsenal fan losing games, and this is like wow, Arsenal did better than Man City, and I know Man City has the hot cake. So I'm like, okay, maybe maybe because of their previous success and some other thing is helping them outshine Man City here. However, I check the recent matches played with Man City, their last 10 matches that they played together. Then let me see if okay Arsenal is still really better than Man City, because if I'm sure going to be a fan based on this data, definitely Arsenal will be my fan, will be my club. So I then went to check these top 10 recent matches. So these are the top 10 recent matches. You can see the most recent one is 17th of June 2020, and the 10th one is far back as 2016, having different leagues embedded in it, both Premier League and EFL, and then FA Cup. Okay, so let's do the same thing we did above for this other one too, and let's see. So I did for Man City again this time around, checking for the first 10 the number of losses and the number of wins for the first 10 matches played. Then I discovered here that Man City won 4 games at home against Arsenal, and also won 4 matches away against Arsenal. I was like, wow. So Man City out of 4, so them having these 8 wins altogether. And how about Arsenal? Okay, Arsenal had just 1 win, and that was at home, and 0 win away. Okay, so let's see the total. Okay, yeah, they have 1 draw. They had a draw together here, and let's see the plot from the 10 reset matches. We discovered that Man City had all win at home. All the games played at home, they won everything, no loss. Arsenal had high loss but few win, which is just 2. Oh yeah. Then the same thing again for away. Then we have away team here. We can discover that Arsenal has no win away. Fine. So then let's check the total. The total of what of the top 10 recent games. Here we have Arsenal winning just 1, and Man City winning 8 of the games of the 10 games played, and then they draw 1 game. Okay, let's see the games they draw. Let's go back up to check the games they draw together. Oh, fine. Let's see this number 8 here. The Premier League game played in 2017. Arsenal and Man City winning 2-2 at home, at Arsenal home, while Man City was away. They both had a win-win. So yeah, from these 10 recent games now, we can discover that yeah, Man City is far better than Arsenal. Yeah, Man City is 80% better than Arsenal. Oh yeah, Man City has an 80% win, Arsenal had a 10% win. So, but on the long run, the total of what we've done we can discover that Arsenal had high win over Man City, but checking the top 10 recent games, you can discover that Man City had high win over Arsenal. Yeah, there are lots. Yeah, the analysis can still go on with. You can still keep on doing the analysis. You can get the number of wins per league, maybe just Premier League. You can get for just Premier League. You can get okay for just FA Cup. Who won the FA Cup between Man City and Arsenal? The Carling Cup. Who won the matches between them? In all the Premier League, who tend to win most in Premier League? So you can keep on doing some observation, getting some analysis. Because of our time, I'll be stopping here. I'll be stopping my tutorial here. And thank you for your time. God bless.
I really want to thank Dari for doing a very great job with the exploratory data analysis from the soccer data that we scraped from the site. And I do believe that we all learned a lot from the great job that he did. So I think that's all for extracting data and making sense out of data. So I'll just give a brief talk on how firms such as Stats Perform, sorry. So Stats Perform is a Chicago-based sports data and an analytics firm that acquires data in real time and that also helps football clubs, helps managers, helps sports recruiters. So help them, analyze data that has been acquired and make the decisions based on this data. So help them, be able to analyze maybe players' performance, make recruitment decisions and stuff like that. So Stars Perform, they really do a great job with getting real time data from the field of play. So they combine computer vision, whereby they place, cameras in the field of play to monitor what these players do while the game is on and generate data from the players' activities and be able to make some decisions based on it. And also they also provide maybe all these sports betting sites with the information they need to be able to place their odds for games. So before a game you can actually maybe do more like a text sentiment kind of an analytics where you run some analysis on maybe the news of a club. Is there any player on injury? Um, stuff like that, just to be able to help support your prediction. So not to talk a lot, let me play a short video that helps give us an overview of what great sites such as Stats Perform do. So yeah, this is it. So let me play this.
So Stats has been tracking players, particularly in soccer, since 1999. In 2008, Stats acquired SportView, and SportView was an in-venue multi-camera system that would track players with fixed cameras in venue.
Our clubs, the ones already using Stats services, were very, very satisfied. The only difference is like it was only a few clubs, and now all the 20 League One clubs massively use Stats for all their squad in order to analyze all the players' performances.
Stats clients use our player tracking data in numerous ways, from understanding player load in terms of like how many sprints they did, how far they ran, to tactical analysis. So there's been numerous ways in which tracking data has sort of unlocked the understanding of the game. And so this is one of the things we talk about, is that tracking tells us our best story of the game.
I think the first stats cameras were installed here in 2004, so 15 years ago. So ever since then, they've been well used throughout the federation, throughout Aspire and the clubs. But all of the QSL clubs use it, and all of the national teams use that as well.
The sport view data, we use that in tandem with the physiologists. What we're doing currently within the under 23s is we're looking at positional data to see, okay, if you're a left back, in terms of physiological efforts and different running ranges, what do you need to be able to play the systems that we play? And then from that, we can use that data to bring it down towards the younger age groups and say, okay, are we able to hit these numbers? And if not, why? And how are we going to do this?
Stats also is providing technology, such the panoramic systems, for the clubs and the coaches. They can see their game and the matches in a better way, not only from the live broadcast view, which is different when you have the wide view, wide camera.
This tool is absolutely fantastic. I think it's really a revolution, because at any moment we can see everything what is happening in the field live. You can clip it live and send it direct to the bench, to the coach, to have a quick information. Panoramic view basically is 4 cameras merged together to give you the panoramic of the field, that can give you recording at the same time all the field, all the players, the 22 players. With Clipper tool, we can have a joystick and record whatever we want during the game. Due to this panoramic tool, we can not focus only on the ball, but also focus on what is happening on the other side.
Part of our international development is, again, a content strategy in order to produce much more content than just live action. We provide also all these data to our broadcasters and make the game more entertaining and more, again, understandable for our viewers all around the world, in France but also worldwide.
One of the main projects of the Computer Vision Group is SportView 2.0, which is a revamp of our in-venue optical tracking system, SportView. Over the last about year, we have completely redone the underlying architecture of that system to make it more in line with modern machine learning and computer vision systems.
Any tools, any new innovation, enabling our end-using fans to better understand the games, to better understand the players' performances, are very welcome for LFB, because for us it's a great tool in order to reinforce the emotion and the emotional relationships between the players, the game, and our fans.
Alright, so this is a very great way that Stats Perform helps to put valuable data in the hands of managers and coaches. So I would want to thank you all for making our time to attend this webinar, and I'm sure that you must have learned a lot from this. And I also want to thank Data Science Nigeria for providing us with the platform to share this knowledge. So you can follow us. You can follow us on our Twitter channel to be able to get up-to-date information on our activities. So our social media handles and will be placed in the description below this video, and we would also provide links to the notebooks that we are using this webinars, and also other related materials. So once again, thanks for your time, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.